with all our supplies gone, and at least a week's hike ahead. It looked as if we'd be a couple of mighty hungry hikers before we could manage to walk out. Well, the only way to get any place fast in the north is by water, and as we were wishing for our canoe, I got an idea that maybe I could manufacture a substitute that might get us out of there a little bit faster than paddling through the brush. This was just an experiment. I didn't know whether it would work or not, and if it didn't work, it would only lose us about 20 minutes of hiking time. But if it did work, it might save us days of pushing through the brush. So first I cut a few poles and trimmed all the branches off them. Then I laid out 2 of the long poles and tied the rest into shorter lengths, tied on crossways. I blew up the air mattresses, laid them on the top, and lashed the whole contraption together as well as I could with that 300 feet of nylon rope. This wasn't going to have much eye appeal, but then you can't expect everything. All we were hoping for was something that just might get us out of there a bit faster than walking. And it began to look as if this might do the trick. Our last pack sack with just a couple of blankets in it was now lashed down in the middle, and as soon as I pushed the raft off, it rode so high in the water that we began to get the feeling that it might carry us out. This didn't look like much of a canoe, and I had an idea it wasn't going to control much like one, but I cut a couple of poles that I hoped we could control it with. Ethel got set in front, and I got ready to push off. I had an idea that whenever I jumped aboard, about all we would be able to do was give the odd push on the bottom and hope for the best. When in over 3,000 miles of previous river travel, we have shot lots of rapids by canoe, but we never got on anything before that had the delusions of being a merry-go-round. That raft shot out into the main current, but no matter what we did, it absolutely refused to go straight. We'd push on one side and we'd push on the other, but it still went right around in circles. And when we tried to get ashore that night, it refused to stop. I had to pick out a shallow spot and get soaked before we finally did get to shore.